It's Sunday once again. It's my favorite day of the week because every Sunday I get to talk to an awesome drummer. Because the reason why I started this Ask the Drummer because I'm really interested about their stories and how they got into drumming and everything. But last week I really wanted to say sorry to everyone who's waiting for Spencer Birtwessel to come on as the drummer. We had a bit of a technical issue there. We couldn't really solve it. I mean, we were chatting for nearly an hour just trying to figure out how to do it, but we couldn't in the end. So I'm really sorry to all of you, especially to Jenny, my friend Jenny, who's waiting for Spencer Birtwessel as well. So hopefully we'll reschedule him some other time on us. He'll be still guesting. He's still willing to guest on Ask the Drummer. So just keep an eye out for the next his next appearance. But anyways, we're here now. It's 2 minutes till 2 in the afternoon here in the UK, which means it's 2 o'clock. 2 minutes till 9 in the evening in Manila. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Drummer. This week's guest is from Liverpool, and I saw him in, I think, at the end of February with Paul Crowe, and they're absolutely amazing. And I'm really glad that he said yes to guesting on the show, and he's here now. So, my dear friends, please welcome Richard Smith. Yay!
I'll clap as well.
No, that's Richard, right? So that's Rich.
Yeah, Richard, Richie, whatever.
Richard.
Whatever you fancy. I'm good. Quite chilled today.
Yeah.
And my dog's barking in the background if you can hear him. Sorry.
Probably the clapping. He's heard all the clapping.
Oh no, he's my head of security.
All right. Thank you so much for saying yes to Ask the Drummer. And how have you been since I saw you in February? It was the end of February.
Busy actually. So I played with a few people, and then God, what month is it? It must have been, I'd say, a month after you see me, and we played with a new group called Down in Laurel Canyon, and it's kind of like most of a band called Motel Sundown.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so they've incorporated so I play for Motel Sundown now a lot of the time, and then they've incorporated other really awesome musicians, and then our first two shows were in the Philharmonic, and we were getting loads of guests on stage, and then the last song it was just everyone on stage doing all Laurel Canyon music, and it's just they're all great to play with.
Yeah,
just bounce off each other naturally. So yeah, that's what I've been busy with mostly recently, but there's loads of stuff coming up.
Yeah, I've got to say, I gotta apologize and say sorry to you, because when I saw you at the Philharmonic that time, because I came in early for the sound check, I got invited to the sound.
I remember seeing you. Thinking, she must own the Philharmonic.
And you were already there, and I didn't know that you're a member of Paul Crowe's band. I mean, no one's mentioned it.
I'll tell you why I was there so early. It was the guy, what was his name? Who you went and see?
Jerry Love. Jerry Love.
Yeah, Jerry Love.
Alan McLeod, the organizer.
No, but it was the Jerry Love gig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So their drummer didn't have any drums.
Oh my God.
I had to get there early so he could take my drums and stuff. But then he was like, "There's a cymbal stand missing." I went, "There isn't. It's just what I use," kind of thing. He must have a bigger setup. But yeah, so that's why I was there so early.
Because if only Alan had mentioned that, he's Paul Crowe's drummer, I could have sort of asked for a photograph straight away. Because I saw Paul Crowe, and I remember him from being a part of Aviator. So I already...
The Aeroplanes?
Well, no, the one with Phil Wilkins. No, sorry.
Okay, this is after. Okay.
Yeah, no, he was in Aviator. Or maybe he was just helping Wilkinson at the time.
Yeah, I think he was, because when I was growing up, Paul was in a band called the Aeroplanes, and they were my favourite band.
Oh, I
you know,
see.
the last bit of school, and
Yeah,
now playing with him, who was the guitarist, the airplanes, and I also play with Chris Kearney, who was the singer, in two
yeah,
separate things. So I was,
yeah.
yeah, these people who we grew up listening to, and now I'm playing with them both. It's unbelievable.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really sorry. I was like, and also because the reason why I was there is because of Jared Love and the Magic Influence, and that's why I
of
was all
course, yeah,
like, not looking for anyone else.
yeah. I
So
think Paul might have been more excited than you because it's like Jerry loves like his hero and stuff.
oh, you
So
see,
yeah, he wouldn't be quiet about it like Paul.
yeah. But anyways, yeah. Thank you again for saying yes to Ask the Drummer.
No
So,
problem.
welcome to Ask the Drummer, episode 175. It's all about you, Richard Smith.
Oh God.
Rich. So you're born and bred in Liverpool. Is that
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what was your? Because you're still young. You're not as old as me, or so. What
I'm
was your
catching up. I'm
Liverpool?
definitely catching up. Yeah, I'm 34 years of age now.
So what was your Liverpool like when you were growing up, especially the music scene?
The music scene in Liverpool's always been bustling. I mean, it has waves of like where you've got 100 bands there in this big bubble, all pushing to try and achieve stuff, and then you've
Yeah.
had waves where there's like two bands that are really doing well, and you keep hearing about them. But again, with the local Liverpool scene, like I was the only kind of musician in my family growing up, so I weren't really getting taken to shows or gigs. But my parents, they loved music, like listening. My dad was like Electric Light Orchestra. My mum was all the 70s stuff, like the Tavares and Stylistics and stuff. So I always
Yeah.
had listening, but I was never going to shows. And then going into senior school, I met a guy called Luke Fenlon, who's a really cool guy. And his dad and his uncle's like Dave Picciolinghi, who owns Sound City and Modern Sky Records, and his dad Lawrence worked with them. So meeting him, I started going to shows, and he'd get me into the likes of the aeroplanes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
getting into the music scene, it was like well, not till I was like 16, 17, and getting to understand local bands really.
Yeah. Yeah. But what was so this must be the 90s or the early 2000s?
Uh,
Major?
yeah. So when did I leave school? 2007 ish.
Yeah. So
2006, 2007.
because like you said, I mean, Liverpool has always been, it's one of the music capital of the world. I mean, it's like from the
It's mental.
Beatles, so it's
To have such a big music scene, but it's such a
yeah,
small community as well. It's like if you don't know that person, you will know someone who knows that person. But in music, definitely.
yeah. Well, every time I go to Liverpool, it's almost like everyone seems to be in a band, or everyone seems to be so like playing
Yeah.
music or something.
What else are you gonna do if it's getting thrown in your face that much? Well, if you can't beat them, you join them.
So you're the only like you like you said, you mentioned earlier that your family is not really like musicians or anything, but they're into
They
music.
love and appreciate music, but
Yeah,
they just
yeah,
didn't really bother with the live scene. They probably did before I was born, but then my brother
yeah.
might have put a stop to that.
But what got you into drumming? Because I found out that you also play the piano and you also play the guitar,
Yeah,
and
um,
so,
piano was my first instrument that I learned. So my brother was getting piano lessons when he was about 7 or 8, so I was about 4 or 5. And it's not his thing, the music. And I just started learning myself songs on the piano because I can't read. I've tried to read music all my life, and I can't get to grips with it. So either do it by looking or listening, and then going into school playing piano constantly, and then I always had this obsession with the drum kit. Like I didn't understand how did they have to tune the toms with each song you there because it just always sound. You know, you see stuff on TV, and you're like, how does it always sound right with the song? And then a kit got brought to the school, and I was like, can I play? And I think I had a mate who was just starting out as well. And then because I'm self-taught with it, I play very weirdly. So I play a right-handed kick because that's a common setup. But I play it left-handed. So I play like open-handed. So it's quite weird. My feet are playing the right and my hands are playing the left. So it was from school, and then
Yeah.
that obsession just kind of stuck with me. I preferred the drums than piano
So
and stuff. And then
you're more comfortable playing the drums than playing the piano or the guitar.
1000%, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That
And
not alone. No, I don't like playing alone. Like I don't think I could sit in the studio and just start, I don't know, showing off. I suppose if there's nothing to play with, I hate
yeah,
playing
yeah.
just drums. Yeah,
But did you have, apart from using the drum kit at your school, did you have
yeah.
proper drumming
I've
lessons?
been, I've never had drum lessons in my life.
Never.
Never.
Wow.
No, I bought a drum kit for £40, and I think it was what, mate? I think it was a Dragon. Awful kit. And my mum reluctant and let me put it in the conservatory for a while. But I think most of my rehearsals just come from sitting there and tapping my legs, tapping the table. I get shouted at a lot because I don't realise I'm doing it.
It's,
But I think that's where I get me practice from, just tapping things.
yeah. This is the thing that I wanted to really get into. Like most drummers, it's a natural thing, isn't it? That
Yeah, it's
it's
like,
got to be
yeah,
in you.
most of the world probably has rhythm, but there is a small select people that don't have rhythm at all. And I
Like
don't
me.
think you can kind of teach it. You know, I run a pub as well. And so my regulars at like one of my legs, I'll just say, just tap to this song, and he cannot do it. Just a single tap, and I'm just like, doesn't matter. Yeah, but people who think they can't play probably could. You've like, I believe you've just got to want to do it.
Yeah, that's true as well. That
Yeah,
you must have the drive to do it and the
100%.
motivation.
If you have sort of a fascination about something, you're gonna dive into it, I suppose.
Yeah, 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 that is true. Anyways, Aiden said that sound and vision very good. Aiden is actually not here at home overseeing things. He's a tech support, but he's somewhere in Wigan. But I think he's
Okay.
watching. So that's good. That's good when he says that sound and vision is okay. So you didn't l- go for any drumming lessons, and you just practice
Never,
and taught
never.
yourself.
Never in my life. I don't. I probably should. I don't actively just go and turn up my drums in a room and rehearse it. When I'm rehearsing the drums, I'm rehearsing it with a band kind of thing. So I might do something and go, "Oh, I've never done that before, but I like it," or "I don't do that again." And that's just the way I've always done it, I suppose.
And do you remember? Do you remember things like 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 you said, by accident you've heard something or you did something, and
Oh
then you
yeah, I
just
remember. I
remember it or
remember things
take
as fast
notes?
as yeah, I remember things as fast as I forget things, I suppose. So I'll go
Okay.
through little fills of kind of saturating the same fill, little, and then I'll just move on. Then
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I think while I'm playing, if I ever think too much before I'm going to do it, it won't work. So just try and relax and just let your arms move and your feet do this.
you feel it. Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah,
You feel the music. Yeah,
definitely.
that's
All people are different, I suppose, but for me, try not to think about things.
yeah. And you don't take notes. You don't say, "Oh, this is," because with some drummers they could actually read notes or read.
Yeah, no. So for me, it's feel, and I've always thought dynamics is quite important.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the kind of drummer I like to be, and I've always been, and probably the only drummer that can be, is a drummer that fits whatever song's getting played. I don't try and come out and, oh, look what I can do. Or no, make the song sound good. Don't make yourself sound
yeah,
good. Make the band sound good. So that comes with dynamics and feel and reading what they're going to do and people bringing the volume up or a little change, a little push. Work with the band, and the drummer can take control of that sometimes, which
yeah,
that's
yeah.
great,
Yeah,
and it works.
I remember seeing a band before, and the singer is trying to um, is trying to tell the drummer with his hand, so like say tone it down a bit so he can hear the audience, so like singing
Yeah,
along. But I think the drummer couldn't understand what it is. He just kept banging and banging. It's
yeah,
getting louder and louder. But I think
yeah,
for a drummer, you've got to know what the singer wanted you to do, And sorry about this. Well, like
It's
I
fine.
mentioned to you earlier, all these sirens come in, from outside. So you've got to know what the singer wants. If you want to sort of like keep it down and
Not just the
still
singer, the whole band. The whole band's got
the
to be
whole
on
band.
a level playing field for it to come across. That was a great performance. You've all got to be on the same level and pushing in the same direction. So
Yeah,
to know when to bring it down or bring it up, or when to play the audience and read the room, that's that's key, I think, in having a really good performance as a band.
yeah, yeah.
It's discipline
So
as well.
that is true. Yeah, yeah. There's discipline. Yeah, yeah. So what was your first band as a drummer?
So my first band was again with a guy called Luke Fenlon, and we were called The Press. Um, I loved it. I really loved it. It was just like a trio at first, and then my first ever gig outside of school was in a little pub in Liverpool in Tarver called the Brick Wall. I think it's a hotel for dogs now. It's no longer a pub, but I think yeah, my dad knew the owner, so um, we started playing there like one Wednesday out of every month, and for kids it wasn't bad. The school had let me borrow the drum kit because I didn't have a drum
Oh,
kit, so it
yeah,
was
yeah.
it was. I've always had support in that way. Yeah, and then we just started our first gig, I suppose, in town in like a proper venue, and you'll have heard of this guy who was in the Zanzibar.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure you're aware of Tony Butler.
Tony, yeah, yeah.
Um, Unbelievable guy, give so many musicians a push over the edge, and I'll come back to him talking about other bands because he done a lot for me and other people I work with. But me and Luke from school then went to college and met a guy called Mick, who was an unbelievable lead guitarist, who you've probably seen him about the city. Well, you would have, because he was the guitarist of the Hummingbirds, which we'll come to later. And then he
Oh,
brought a bass player in. So we started doing these shows, and we done like a show in Sheffield and stuff, and we were still like 16, 17. But we
yeah.
started getting a little bit momentum, and we had like the Wombats coming to watch us at shows and looking
Really?
like
Oh,
we were getting its tour support, and then it just all fell apart. I think
oh no.
something to do with parents, not my parents, but yeah.
Were
And
you
then
doing were you doing your own materials or
all our
co-
own material.
oh,
We
your
never
own, yeah.
actually, yeah, this is before like Spotify. This, so I mean, I've probably got a couple of demos that we recorded in partially somewhere. I'll find them and send them to you. But we were
Oh,
kids,
yeah,
but
and so
we weren't like a bad band considering our age.
yeah, yeah. Do you know when I was googling you and I forgot to mention it to you? There's another Rich Smith who's drummer, and I thought, oh, but this is apparently from Derby,
Well,
and
he's gonna have to change his name, isn't he?
and he's in a power heavy metal band called Power Quest. And I
Power
thought, no,
Quest.
this is not the one that I was looking for.
I've never ever. I couldn't do a metal band. Not out of
Yeah,
taste. I don't think I've ever used a double kick pedal before, so
no,
it's not me.
no, it's not you. So, I found the right one. So from the press, you said so you never released anything.
No, because we were just
Yeah,
kids, and then we were just showing our friends and family, and then it obviously all ended. But then
yeah.
I was still in college with the guys, so and then this is where it gets weird. Being on a podcast called That's the Drummer, I then started playing bass for a Motown band within
Oh,
people in college. So done that for a while, and then bass for another guy who was on the X Factor, and then Mike Mick out of the press, who was the guitarist of Hummingbirds, who I was in college with, said this guy wants me to play guitar, and do you want to come along and play the cajon? Just a little box. I was like, yeah, okay.
oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was Jay and Matty who started the Hummingbirds, but only as a duo, and they played in the Zanzibar as a duo before I knew them. Oh, Mick was playing with them, and it was Tony Bullard that said, you just need to go and get a band. So he knew Mick from previous bands. So then Mick got me in with Jay and Matty, and our first rehearsal was in Mick's bedroom. And the next day we done a show in Heebie Jeebies, just not knowing the songs. Me and Mick just guessed. Being a drummer, you can get away with murder, not knowing the songs, to be honest. Um, and then that just started. Okay, this has got legs, and then we kind of had these bass players in that were just helping out. They weren't like members. And then I was doing a show on the bass for that X Factor guy in Rainhill, which is an area just outside Liverpool, which
Yeah.
is where Ryan lives, which would become the Hummingbirds bass player. And he come up to me and he's like, "Oh, I like you, the way you play bass, just being a nice guy and stuff." I was like, "Oh, you play bass too?" Yeah. I was like, "Well, listen, I'm in a band. We'll look for a bass player. We're playing the Zanzibar, blah 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 date. Come down, thinking I'll never see him again." I finished the show, and then this guy, "Hi, Rich," and I was like, "Oh, you're that guy, aren't you, Ryan?" And then just said to Jay, the lead singer, I was like, "This is Ryan. He plays bass," and he just looked at me and went, "He's good looking enough. Yeah, go on. He can play for us." Then was the Hummingbirds, and then but I was only for a long time just playing the box, playing the cajon, and we played the opening of a fridge. Honestly, we were just all over the place, playing everywhere. Then we'd
Yeah.
even busk. We'd literally go to the city centre and busk, but we'd earn like £500-600 a day. But it wouldn't go to us. Oh no, we got to put in a bank because we got a rehearsal room to pay. We need petrol for driving to gigs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then going, and it was going really well, getting really recognised. But then, as every band, I suppose, comes to this, oh, we need to be a bit more mature and stuff. And then they put me on the drums. So I was back on the drums after about 5 or 6 years,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I had zero confidence playing the drums for a good few months.
But
And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
I think my first gig back on a full drum kit, we were playing in Manchester, Fallowfield, I think it was. And we had this like blues song that we'd finish on, and then the singer just went on the kit, Rich, and then they all stopped playing. I was like, shit. So I kind of had to do this. Sorry, swearing. Kind of had to do this little solo, just like what he is doing to me. But it actually went okay. But I've had a few stinker little solos with that song. But
Well,
yeah,
so starting and playing the cajon, I mean, that's a fascinating instrument actually,
I
because
think that's all he trusted me with. No, but it was different because we were early Hummingbirds was quite skiffily.
yeah,
So
yeah,
again, it was different because it was like very stripped back, basic skiffly, but with three-part harmonies just poking through all the time. So it was fresh, it was new, and
yeah,
people were
yeah.
enjoying it. But then I think
Well,
we got bored of that quite quick.
so you named your band the Hummingbirds. I mean, I don't know if you heard that, but there's an '80s band,
Australian,
Australian
the
band, yeah,
Australian.
called the
There was
Hummingbirds.
that was the Hummingbirds before me and Mick joined. So just being Matty J, and they only called it the Hummingbirds because one of the guitars they had was an Epiphone Hummingbird.
Oh,
That's
right.
it. No
Okay.
great story behind the name, like, oh, one hit me in the head when I was riding my bike, nothing like that. They just had a
But
guitar.
you never got contacted by the Hummingbirds, the Australian Hummingbirds, say you've got to change your name to a different one because it's like because we're the Hummingbirds.
Not the Australia one, but that just goes to show we probably weren't big enough to come under their radar. Um, we did get contacted by another, or someone saying the grandparents were in a band called the Hummingbirds, and we were like, so? We're not doing nothing, Cardi, so go and speak to the Australia ones then.
So, well, the genre, because I was looking, I actually listened to this today, before coming on the. It's
Yeah.
very good, yes, but it's the genre that's the Hummingbirds are under is Mercy Beat. It's like going back to the like the Beatles influence and all that.
Yeah, I think that was one of the awkward things about trying to progress the band and getting recognised by actual industry and labels. Is like, yeah, it is a bit of Mississippi, but it's also a bit of Americana. There's country hints in there, and
Yeah,
no one really knew how to market us to what age group. I think that as much as people are enjoying the sound, it actually become an issue for us. I think within the industry.
yeah, yeah. I mean
So
that.
it was quite difficult, and I think we tried to get an identity, but we just couldn't come away from that.
Yeah, because I know that in the '80s, I mean, I've read it a lot of like articles and things that in the '80s they wanted to get away from that scene, from the Mersey, the Beatles scene.
Yeah,
So every band is they were different in the 80s. They didn't want to sound like similar to the Beatles or the other bands in Liverpool.
Yeah,
Every one of them is like the Pale Fountains, and Echo and the Bunnyman
yeah.
and the Wild Swans. They're all different sounding.
All the 80s synth
Yeah,
kicked
yeah,
in. Yeah.
yeah. But I think early 2000 or something, a lot of the bands wanted to get back into that
Well,
Liverpool
yeah, well,
Mississippi sound.
the likes of Cast and the Lars really opened that door again, and the Coral and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
people don't realise how much, I think, especially in Liverpool, how much them three bands just did for the city. And
yeah,
you're still seeing young bands starting now going, oh, I've just started listening to Cast or the Lars, and you're like, I'm quite jealous of you. Lucky you, you've just opened a new door, and it's a great door to go through. Yeah, so yeah, bands. It's a weird question. There's always been every type of band in Liverpool. Even in the 80s, there was bands and stuff like that.
yeah, 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 yeah. This actually one song that I particularly like in this one. It's "Back in Liverpool." It's a really good song. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
I remember writing that. Yeah, not I never wrote, but I remember being with the guys writing it and putting in little stuff back in Liverpool. Yeah, I think it's just about. Well, it's exactly what it says on the tin, really. If you listen to the song, just come
yeah,
back to
yeah.
someone saying,
This is
pretty
what
much,
you
yeah,
look like when
I'm
you're
not
back in.
happy with things, so wait till I'm back and
Well,
want to
yeah.
say to you. Yeah,
But the hummingbirds actually. I mean, I didn't know about this, but you won awards, and
yeah,
you were the Liverpool. Like what I said, the Liverpool Band of the Year
yeah. I
in
think a couple of years before that, we won the ones to watch,
yeah, one to watch in 2013 as well. That's and
2013. And
you were
what year
nominated
was the
for
band of the year?
Mercury. That's 2013 when you were the one to watch as Liverpool Music
Yeah,
Award, and then you were nominated for the Mercury Music Prize as well. So
yeah. I don't know how deep that went with the Mercury Music Prize. I'll be honest, because I don't think I really knew that much about it. People were just saying stuff about it.
yeah, yeah,
And but I remember the band of the year quite well because we were up against Miles Kane, and we were like, oh well, nothing's. We'll just enjoy the night kind of thing. And there's a video on YouTube where we collect the award, and the guy says, "Oh, the Hummingbirds," and then it just cuts to our table, and I'm like this, trying to put my jacket on, going, "Oh God, didn't expect to win," kind of thing. So yeah, that was quite a cool night.
yeah, yeah. So you did
Yeah.
really well, and also I found out that you're Wayne Rooney's favorite band. I mean, it's like,
At one point, yeah, but you know what? It was Wayne Rooney's peak, so he gave us a little push on socials and stuff, and we had like Sky News trying to get
yeah,
interviews because
yeah.
that when he started tweeting, it happened while we were in the studio recording, so it was
Oh,
perfect timing because all these people wanting like Skype interviews were in this setting with all these guitars and drums, so it looked like we were professional, I suppose. But yeah, it really did help.
so the um, the record company for the Hummingbirds is called Gladstone. Was Modern Sky not a record company at
Modern,
the time? Yeah,
modern, we've always been in touch with Dave Picciolinghi. He never signed us. He could have. He was almost part of getting us signed. So we were we could have signed to a label called, I don't know whether it was Sire Records or it was just like a an off company of that, which was owned by Seymour Stein,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
who worked for Warner. I think he signed like Madonna and stuff like
yeah,
that. There's songs
yeah,
about him was by Belle Sebastian, I think. We literally, a couple of the guys out the band was in his hotel room having a meeting with him, and it was all looking promising. I think he signed the lottery winners as well. But I think there was kind of this thing where, like, well, if you're going to sign us, why could you not just sign us to Warner or Sire? And we thought, yeah, it's going well, but then I think again it just dried up a little bit. And I think, I don't know, I think one of our issues was we were always scared of someone ruining it for us because we were quite a hard working band. We done absolutely everything ourselves. and I suppose we were
Oh,
scared to let someone in. So if we were going to let someone in, it had to be like the guy, the person who was going to take us to the top. So that was kind of why we were like, well, just sign us to this, and then I don't quite know how it didn't happen, to be
right.
fair. But we still,
Yeah,
Dave still booked us for shows, Sound City, numerous over years. We do like
yeah, yeah.
3 shows in one day for him, and we still have a good relationship. I obviously Dave at a show, we always speak and stuff, but we were just never signed to Modern Sky, and it probably could have been down to, again, not knowing where to pigeonhole us, or to not knowing where to market us and who to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because some of the contacts we had coming through, people in London, we do all the midweek shows in London where it was all industry people coming, because they'll never go to a gig on a weekend, industry people, because that's their days off. So we were playing like the Water Rats and selling it out and selling to all these London shows and meeting all these people, and they were like, "Oh, we absolutely love you," and then that was it. We got a publishing deal and stuff like that, and we were meeting with the likes of Kieran Moyles, who's like Chris Moyles' brother, and just getting these
Yeah.
awesome support slots with like Top Loader, Reef, the Christians, all sorts. We got on with Status Quo at a festival, and we were just getting all these up. There's probably more, but and then I suppose we were just getting tired of. Okay, well, we're still here, and
Um,
we also need to kind of make money, so we start getting other jobs, and so I think that's how it went. Kind of, it was very difficult.
yeah. So is that it? There's no more the hummingbirds, or is it just
For
at the
now, I
moment?
think our last show was like maybe in the future. I think the singer Jay, who's recently a couple of months ago, like said, "Do you fancy doing like a Christmas show?" But at the point at the minute where it's like, well, hasn't been long since we haven't played. There's nothing really to play for at the minute. So probably eventually, but not now.
Not now. And you're
Not
busy
now.
anyways. You're
We're
you're
all
busy.
busy. Like the guy, like Jake, the singer, he's a fireman now. He's in the fire service. Um, Matty, the guitarist, he's got his own company. They're doing floor laying. Ryan's progressing amazingly. Ryan's working with a festival in Norway, doing all their kind of things.
All right.
Who have I missed out here? Mick.
Mick,
Mick's
yeah.
just Mick's just playing everywhere. Mick's an excellent session musician. And I've just got my work and my other few little playing bits. But
That's
always,
strange.
always looking to get more, yeah. But we're all still great mates and love each other and stuff.
Yeah. And you're still
Some,
in
some,
contact.
all the time, all the
Yeah.
time. Some great
So,
stories with them and stuff. So maybe
yeah.
not for this podcast, but yeah, it's
But never
10,
they yeah, sorry, go ahead.
over 10 plus years of just being in each other's pockets. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
never say never to a reunion
Never,
gig.
never.
It's yeah. So, from the hummingbirds,
Yeah.
and that gap between the hummingbirds and then I saw you playing for Paul Crowe. Uh, did you do any other, or did you join any other bands, or were you?
Yeah, so not like getting in and doing something. I was just doing the odd show for things. There was a long time where I didn't do anything, and then to the rescue is Paul Crowe. So I wasn't originally Paul Crowe's drummer. It was the drummer from the Aeroplanes, Ian.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know him as Macca. Great guy, great drummer. And I think on the day of Paul's first single release, Macca fell unwell and had to go to hospital. So I think it
Oh,
was about 3, 4 o'clock, and Paul rang you and said, "Listen, mate, Macca's not well. I know you don't know the songs, but can you just come and play like tambourine just to keep a bit of a rhythm line?" I was like, "I'm not playing tambourine, I'll play drums." He's like, "Are
you
you sure? Like, you don't know the songs?" I'm like, "I'll be fine. Send me the songs over." And then I put the phone down. I was like, "Oh, what have I done here? Oh, what have I put myself into?" But I think I knew at least 3 or 4 of them because I recorded. So I was recording with people before I was doing the gigs with them. Again with Paul Crowe. So I turned
yeah,
up, like from the minute I put that phone down, I was listening to the songs before on the way into the venue. After sound check, I'm sitting there at the back of the venue on a couch listening, and even before certain songs, I go, "How's that start?" Okay, while I'm sitting on the drums, and Paul's audience, because he's such a great musician himself, a lot of musicians come to watch him. So played that show, and somehow I pulled it off, played really well. I surprised myself, and then that just opened, a very small floodgate to
Yeah,
people
yeah.
asking me to play for them, and then since that, yeah, I've been quite busy.
Oh, that's brilliant. So is it
Yeah,
easy to pick up and play the drum parts for a certain song, even if because you're already a fan of Paul Crowe's band anyway, so you're
yeah,
familiar.
yeah,
But
yeah, definitely.
what about if it's someone say ask you to play drums for them, but you're not really very familiar with their songs? They just send you
Yeah,
their songs, and then is it easy to actually get the drum parts and play it?
pretty
Right?
much because with drums you do get away with murder. You know, if you're a guitarist, you've got to know the exact chords, when the chords are changing, how long you're holding that chord for, anything like that. Same with bass or piano. With drums, you just go, okay, this sounds like it's coming to a chorus. Go bigger with it, kind of thing. So you do, unless they want you to play exactly what they've got on the recording, you can get away with a lot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Well, it's a beat is
You
a
make
beat. You know what I mean?
well, you're making it sound as if it's really easy, but it's not
Well, it
easy.
can be because if you think about it, if you take out 1,000 songs that are similar, almost every guitar will sound different. Every guitar part, the chord change different. But in them 1,000 songs, the drum beat's probably the same. And that's not saying the drums are easy. It's just because that's the drum's job to keep that line of tightness and what the song should sound like.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with drums, I'd say yeah, you can get it. Obviously there's difficult songs and stuff, and sometimes you can play musicians that don't really signal you when the song's ending or dynamics or anything. But if I was to be a session player, it'd be the drums I'd be picking first. Yeah,
And it's got to be you have to have a connection with the bass player because it's always the drummer and the bass
massive,
player. Just
very
yeah,
important that. So
yeah.
through all the Hummingbirds, Ryan was the bass player. It was always just me and Ryan. We'd stay in hotels, two to room. It was me and Ryan in a room. So we'd me and Ryan would sit in the front of the van. So we pick the music. And we'd always talk about these things and listen to the same stuff. So in the Hummingbirds, yeah, that worked. And then all of the bass players I'm playing with at the minute, it's just locking in with them. And when
Yeah, yeah.
I love a bass player that can lock in with you, but a bass player adores a drummer that'll lock in with him.
Well, when I saw you that evening, your bass player was Vicky. Vicky
Unbelievable.
Edwards.
Vicky
She's
Edwards,
amazing.
she is
She's
an absolute genius. Do you know what? She helped me on every gig I've played with Paul Crowe. You could probably watch, probably not that one that you were at, but especially at the first couple. If anyone was taking pictures or video of the shows, I'm just looking like that at Vicky for the whole show because she knew the songs better than I did. So got a lot to thank her for. But what an
yeah,
awesome player she is.
yeah. I love Vicky because the first time I saw her actually, she's John Head's
Yeah,
bassist. She played
yeah.
bass for her, and I was like, oh my god, she's so cool.
She's
And then
so cool, and she's just so humble about it as well. And she doesn't play much either at the moment. If John Ed's not active, she's not that busy because she works in like a music college and stuff. But she's just,
yeah.
I, when I come off stage, I'm like, do you want to go on and just have a little jam? I just want to play with Vicky all the time. She's awesome.
Well, so that's good. You know, when I saw her, I couldn't believe it because I haven't seen her for a long time.
Same
And
again. She was in the
also,
aeroplanes for a while
oh, is she? Oh, I
with
don't.
Paul and Chris Kearney. And she was in the airplanes when the original bass player left. So again, grew up watching her, thinking, yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, I had to sort of like think, really hard because the last time I saw her, she was still wearing glasses. So when I saw her without the glasses, and then I approached her, I said, "You're Vicky, right?" It's like I almost didn't recognize her because she's not wearing the glasses
Yeah,
anymore. But She's just amazing. So,
I think it was about 15 to 20 years since I last seen her to that first gig with Paul. She did not remember me. Did not remember. I think she did after about 2 hours.
yeah,
But at
yeah.
first, yeah, nothing.
Well, they look different because when I saw photos of the hummingbirds, I had to
Yeah,
sort of look at which one is because that's the first time I saw you at the Philharmonic Music Hall, and then
yeah.
I was looking at the photos of the hummingbirds, and I had to choose. I had to sort of like actually look really hard. Now, which one is Rich from me? You
Yeah,
look different.
yeah.
You were so young. I
So
mean,
young and about 6 stone lighter.
no, that's not right. Yeah. So well, so after Paul Crowe, you mentioned Motel Sundown as well, because
Yeah,
I have seen them before. So are you their drummer now? Because when I saw them, I think
pretty
there was like
much. Yeah,
three of them.
but it's a bit of a weird mix. So Motel Sundown, it's the three guys. Naomi,
Yeah,
Karen,
yeah,
and Rob. So like me and Sam Nabet, who's the bass player, we are in it, but like we're only in it on like band shows. We wouldn't say we're like in we are the band. It is them three guys, but yeah, with the users every single time. Like we're
yeah.
happy to say that we are in Motel Sundown. It's they're
Because I
really
saw,
really awesome musicians.
yeah, I saw them at the Jacaranda when they released their album, but wasn't
That
sure whether
that
they
was
actually they didn't
it.
have a
Wasn't
drummer.
me. No, yeah, they do a lot of just trio shows acoustically.
Yeah, just the three of them.
Yeah,
But when they're doing like a full band thing, so you're the one who plays drums
yeah,
for
yeah.
Tulsa.
And I never thought that had happened because towards the end of the Hummingbirds, we were out on a night out and stuff, and I think one of the guys were like, "Oh, I think Motown might need a drummer soon." And then we bumped into him in a bar, and I'd had a few drinks, and I was like, "Listen, I'll play any time you just want." And then I think I woke up the next morning going, "Oh, they're never going to ask me to play them." And a few years later down the line, and they did, and I've done some really good shows. Then we played on like the Pier before the Jackson 5 in the summer just gone, and
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and,
wow.
and and through that, they're introducing me to all these excellent musicians because I was out of the bubble for so long, and then it's got me in this Laurel Canyon band and stuff. So it's really, yeah, Paul, them just opening doors for me left, right, and centre. It's cool.
Are you in a band right now, or uh, do you consider yourself a session?
Yeah, yeah. So I say session. I'm not making a living off it because I don't go and say I want paying for this. I play so many gigs for free. Yeah, I'm not doing it for the
Yeah,
money. I think the
yeah,
money
yeah,
for me is just a bonus if it comes. But yeah, that with Paul, I'm definitely in Paul Crow's band, and Chris Kearney's and the Laurel Canyon stuff. Definitely, yeah. I'd see myself as a
yeah,
member of the band. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure they do as well. I hope so. Anyway.
Well, I still remember when I had Stephen Morris on the show. This was like
Yeah.
years ago. Uh, it did say, which is I thought was fascinating, that it's actually when it comes to financial, the financial
Yeah.
side of it, it's actually better being a session drummer because you always get work and
You
you
get
always
paid
get
better if you're in a session because you're getting paid by people that are happy with the session drummer and looking for the session drummer.
yeah, yeah,
But I think there's less work than there is to not as a session player, but I'd say it's harder to make money as a drummer because if you can play guitar and you can sing, you can go and play six bars
acoustic.
of pubs and clubs acoustically and get £150 a show.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah,
no one's going to pay me to just sit up with me drums and just hit them for 90 minutes. So it's easier to make money as a guitarist, but yeah, I
but you
suppose
sing
session
as
drumming.
well. You also sing.
Only backing vocals. I'd never sing lead.
Oh, you've never. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
No, and that's
yeah,
just down to the Hummingbirds because we were so empty the sound. We had to fill it because we never had a drum kit and that we for a long time we never had a bass player. So we filled out these gaps with harmonies. So kind of every band I've gone in with, I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
incorporate little harmonies, and if there's harmonies already there, I'll probably try and find another one that isn't there.
Oh,
So I was recording with Chris and in Kempston Street, which is like the new Park Street. It's unbelievable. Guy, the engineer's Chris Taylor. He's does blossoms and stuff like
yeah.
that. Works with the chorale. And Chris Kearney just read, "Go on, just chuck me in the vocal booth," and he just started layering all these harmonies, and I love doing that. And I love that he trusts me doing that. And then one of the songs ended up sounding like we had a choir.
Oh, but you don't normally, you wouldn't go and sing and like some drummers they
No,
do. They'll do.
6 pints, baby.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Can I just ask you? So the drum kit that you used and
yeah,
Jared Love's band that they use, and
yeah,
also Una, is it Una, the first
yeah,
band?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's your drum kit.
That's mine.
Um, yeah. So do you mind at all, or are you quite precious with your drums? Because
I'm
I remember,
precious with it, but I like to help other people out. Because if I was
yeah,
in their position, especially the band that were on before us, they're trying to work their way up, and it was probably a good gig for them. And if someone said, "Well, no, I don't want you to use that," and then they're stuck and they haven't got nothing, you're in a state of panic. Then, like, what are we gonna do? So, it's what can they do? They're not big heavy,
yeah.
but they're not whacking so hard. It's fine. Just play it. Treat it
How
like it's your own.
how does it work though? Because say there are three bands like that
Yeah.
gig. So do the organizers already tell the bands that you've got to bring your own, or there will be a drum kit there already, or
Most gigs are
how
different.
does it
So
work?
a lot of like music venues have house kits, but
Okay, yeah,
the likes the Philharmonic, you bring your own, which I like doing. I think it's probably the best venue in the city at the minute, the Philharmonic as well, for
yeah,
sound
yeah,
wise, just how they run things in the room is unbelievable.
yeah,
Um, but it's different everywhere you go. So I've played gigs where I just take my cymbals, my snare, and my sticks. Or then you've got to take sometimes cymbal stands, and it honestly depends where you go. But yeah, usually you tend to find out what you need to bring well before the show.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you don't get so like, especially if you're the first band to go on stage, and then the other bands who own the kit
it
won't.
depends if I can be bothered staying all night, because you're the last guy out. Then if I'm the first on and I want to get home, they're not using my kit.
you know,
But I think it's very rare for a first act to use their kit all night. It's
yeah,
quite
yeah.
unheard of. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the first band that was on, or
Yeah,
but
the drummer. Are we going to talk about the drummer?
well, he had some really
Pro-
strange
Oh my
things.
god, I'm just looking for things I can use here. I was watching him drum, and then he had this little table, and he's like playing with that hand, and then he'll grab this and do that, and then he'll grab this, and then he'll grab this, and then he's waving this around while he's still playing, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he must have a whole percussion shed for all these things that he's got. But it was great. I was just watching him going, can't slow down. It's awesome. But bloody hell, I think he's brought the record, what they've done in the studio, to his little bit. And I was impressed. I was really impressed. Probably not so necessary with all the different things being live, but I was definitely impressed. It was like watching someone juggle.
There's a particular thing that I saw. It's like a cluster of something, and I thought, what's that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And he just puts it on his cymbals or and you're like, it was just crazy to watch. I'm surprised he didn't pull out one of them little whistles. You know what I mean? But yeah, do you know what? Again, he's doing his own thing, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's great.
it's fantastic. But the one I really enjoyed that bit when you use what do you call it? It's like a marching band kind of thing, and you were doing this.
Oh, I remember that we were taking a mick out of one of the old World Cup songs.
Oh,
I think it was just before we started the song, wasn't it? I think it was that Vindaloo song, but I
Oh,
think someone said something about it, so I just started playing it as a joke. Yeah,
so you're okay with other bands using your kit and everything, and you've
yeah,
never
yeah.
encountered any one band that says no, you can't use mine because
Oh,
you know
loads, loads.
you haven't.
Yeah,
ha-
we so
Oh,
in the Hummingbirds. This is a very very weird funny story. Um, we done a few shows with Shawadi Waddy.
oh,
Don't know whether you remember them.
yeah.
I know. Again, no reason we didn't make it. So we had these in our rehearsal room. We had these two huge flight cases on wheels, and when we travel, it was when I was on the cajon, and we'd have my cajon and the bass amp in one, and we'd have two fallback speakers that we'd have in our, monitor speakers.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
gig was in a theatre in Llandudno. We gets to
Okay.
Llandudno, unloads all his gear, takes the lid off the flight case, and there's two floor monitor speakers. So we've got no bass amp and no cajon drum. Bass player wouldn't let us use the bass amp, and the drummer wouldn't let us use the drums.
No
But
way.
we're playing to like 2,000 people here, so like,
Oh
well, we're
my.
not just gonna not play the gig. So easy for the bass, you can just go into the DI box and come straight out the system. It just means the bass player hasn't got any control over levels or anything on stage. For me,
Yeah, yeah.
one of the guys in the band had a hard case for his acoustic, so we just laid that down, put a mic on it inside it, and then I just stamped on it while playing a tambourine. So
Whoa.
yeah, that's
Oh
one of
my.
the things where people have said no to using gear.
That's fantastic. I mean, you
I
got
felt like I
to.
half got the blame for that as well, but it wasn't just me loading the van. So there's a picture somewhere where I'm scratching my head with a tambourine in one hand and my foot on a guitar case, just going, "Oh God, 3,000 people." But I sang better standing up.
But that's brilliant, though. That's quick thinking, and you were able to still do it and deliver.
Yeah,
You
because I don't think
even
there's anywhere where you're gonna get a cajon in London now at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night.
well, not
So
even if the drummer of the other band wouldn't let you play his drum kit.
that's it. The seniors are these little scrawny kids. They're not touching our stuff. We're professionals, kind of thing. But again, I don't want to have to put anyone in a position where they got a stamp on a guitar case so they can use my drums. It's fine.
Yeah,
You
that's right.
break, you
Yeah,
buy.
yeah, yeah. No, that's unbelievable that you can just come up with things like that, and then it's
Yeah, well, I suppose we had no other
sounded
choice.
like.
Yeah,
So how did you end up supporting Shorty Waddy then?
probably not having the right booking agent. We played with some people and we just thought, oh well, it's a gig again, but yeah, we probably shouldn't have played with them. But again, do you know what? It's experience. We can
Yeah,
say we
yeah,
played at these venues in front of X amounts of people and stuff. So great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So do you have any gigs lined up in the coming
Yeah,
months? It's like, yeah.
Paul Crowe, I think, is my next one. In
Oh,
in a
where is
theatre
he
that
from?
I've just played in. It's he hasn't announced it yet. So
Oh, okay.
um, I think he's probably going to announce it today, maybe or tomorrow.
Well,
Um,
maybe announce it now.
it's okay. It's fine. It's because where it is, I played there 2 weeks ago for the first time, and it's
Yeah.
one of the most beautiful venues I've ever played in. It's the Shakespeare North Theatre
Oh,
in
yeah.
Prescott.
In Prescott,
So
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
I was
there's
there.
I think it's Paul's show, and there's it's a good lineup on before us and stuff,
Yeah,
which they'll
yeah.
all probably be using my kit. So um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
he'll announce that.
I went to see Butler, Blake, and Grant a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
weeks ago, I think. Yeah, yeah. And I
It's
saw
such an
Astral.
amazing venue.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's
It's
such a
such a
beautiful place.
beautiful, and
Yeah.
the way that they've done it from when theatres were built when Shakespeare was about. So they're all there's not like nails or screws like in all the wood. It's like they're all wooden spindles. But
Oh,
obviously being all wood, they had to worry about
yeah.
health and safety. But the way
Yeah.
they've built it, basically, they've built that theatre within the building. So they were saying to me, like, you could be sitting at the bar in the reception, and that theatre could be on fire for 3 hours, and you wouldn't know about it.
Oh,
Just it's quite an amazing venue. When you,
yeah,
I'm just into boring stuff like that. When I've been to so many
yeah.
places, and then one just pops out with little things like that. It's quite cool.
Well, it's an award-winning building, apparently.
I can
Well,
see
Amy
why.
said.
I can see why. And the
Yeah,
staff there
yeah,
are excellent. They've really looked after us, really professional. Felt dead
yeah.
welcome. Felt like I was in my own house at times. It was dead relaxed. And then, yeah, got that with Paul. I'm playing with a girl I've known
When
for a
is
very
that?
long time.
When is
Ah,
that going to be?
off the top of my head, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
right, okay.
I will find out. I will find out. And then I'm playing in another theatre in the Epstein
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a brand.
with,
Well, not brand new, but they've refurbished it, right? It's a newly
yeah,
opened.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
great. It's an excellent space. I played there years ago. It's awesome.
yeah.
With an old friend of mine called Jen Vaudry or Jennifer Vaudry. It's like a Dusty Springfield type vocals, but again, it's all their own stuff. Um, Another with down in Laurel Canyon in November in the Philharmonic again, a matinee and an evening show. Um, what else is there? I've got a Motel one this month, Motel Sundown show this month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and then I always get
Very
shows that
busy.
pop up last minute. Well, it
Yeah,
is busy as well as the other stuff I've got going on, just not musical as well. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. So,
I'm
are you not doing your own stuff, like
no, I don't
releasing
want
your own?
to.
You don't want
No,
to.
I don't know where to start.
Right.
So
You don't want to be
when
like
it
Phil
comes,
Collins or something.
no, definitely not, definitely not. I prefer Phil Collins as a songwriter over the drummer.
Of a
I'll
drumming.
be
Okay.
honest. Yeah. But like now, I can help write a song and chirp in, a few lines and
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
lyrics, and I can make a song sound like a different song, but I can't sit there and write it. Wouldn't know what to write about.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna keep an eye out for that Paul Crowe one because I do like that venue. It's a brilliant venue, and that they apparently
It's awesome.
yeah, it's easy to get to by bus as well. Because no, from Liverpool, I think it's easy to get to by bus.
Are you far from? Are you in Liverpool? Are you?
Stockport, no, Stockport in Manchester. So
Oh, that's not too bad. It's not. It's just
that's,
it's
yeah,
the right end of Liverpool for you to come to. So
that's right. So, anyways, I know it's nearly an hour now that we've been chatting, but I've still got four regular questions that I wanted to ask you.
fire away.
Um,
I'm in no rush.
the first one is, do you twirl when you play? I don't think I saw you twirl when you.
Never.
You don't know?
People. No. 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 What? Why? I've never understood it. It's like a fidget thing, isn't it? I suppose, but no.
No, it's showmanship, isn't it? It's part of being, because
I know, but when I go to a bar and I see these guys throwing all these things, I'm just giving me drink, mate. You know, great, you can juggle. Go and join the circus if you can juggle. This is a bar, give me a drink. Um, yeah, I know it's great the way they can do it, and well, it's a drum focused show. When you see like, especially in America, you have all the marching shows and you do it all. Great, but you're sitting there with a band. Stop showing
yeah.
off. Do your job. I don't mind it. I'm sounding like I'm moaning about it. I don't do it. I don't think you can do it, but each to their own. People like doing it, enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
Contradicting
I
myself
love,
here.
I love, I love seeing drummers do that.
Yeah,
Because
I'm probably just
especially,
moaning because I can't do it. I've only got little hands.
well, I've seen some who do, who do the twirling when they're not playing, when they're sort of like waiting for someone,
Yeah,
or waiting for when the
it's
guitar is
probably just
tuning
as
or
again.
something.
Yeah, like a fidget thing, a boredom cure maybe.
But
I'll just
also,
talk to someone.
well, also as part of the drumming is when they
In
twirl.
between.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it's impressive. Do you know what? If a drummer gets a solo, fire away. That's cool. Because
yeah,
not only are you soloing, you're doing these little twirls and stuff, so great. But no, just sitting there or playing just mid-set. I don't understand it myself.
You know? Right.
I'm making it
Um,
sound like I have a problem with it. I don't. I just don't get it.
okay. Well, next question is drumming heroes. Who are your drumming heroes?
You know what? It's like it changes for me. Whatever I'm listening to, I think, oh, they're awesome. There's a guy who's an awesome session player. He's played for like there's a woman called Rumen who sounds like Karen Carpenter. He's played for so many. I think he's the drummer sometimes when on The Voice when they have the band, and he's called Ash Sohn. And I just watch. He's got his own little drum studio in like an old windmill, and it's just I just watch his videos all the time, thinking he's insane. Um, Jeff Piccaro out of Toto, he's just mesmerizing. When you
Yeah,
just look at him and go, I'll never be at that level. But again, he was innovative. But you can always go back to Ringo as well because people go, oh, Ringo weren't that good of a drummer. But whenever you heard Ringo make a mistake on any of the live stuff or records, and he didn't have fallback speakers to listen to what they're playing, as he used to say, he just used to watch the bums moving. That's how he knew where he was in a song. And again, he was so innovative. It's like Jimi Hendrix probably weren't the best guitarist in the world, but he invented something. It was so
yeah,
unorthodox. So Ringo would do drum beats that no one's ever done before because he heard them. And to come together beats, or I've never heard that anywhere else. And there's just So you got Ringo. I'd say is
yeah,
anyone
yeah.
that says Ringo's not a good drummer, they don't know the music.
No, it's his birthday tomorrow. You've got to post
Is it
something
tomorrow?
on. Yeah.
Well, it's my dad's today.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Happy
Well,
birthday.
I've seen this video. I'm birthday
Happy
Richie's dad. That's
birthday
what he's
to
known as, Richie's dad. He won't be too happy about that.
you.
Um,
Is
I
he a
seen
fan?
Ringo.
Yeah, is he a fan
Is
of
he
Ringo?
what?
Is he a fan
My
of
dad.
Ringo's?
My
Yeah.
dad's just a fan of music in general.
No.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
he loves the story about when, because he was a massive ELO fan. He loves the story of when Jeff Lynne produced the last few Beatles tracks, and Jeff Lynne was making Ringo play to a click track, and Ringo didn't like that. Ringo was like, "I am the click," and Jeff's like, "No, listen, I want you in tight in with this. You're playing to a click kind of thing." My dad likes that story.
Oh. Okay. Well, happy birthday to him. What's his name?
Ricky,
Yeah, Ricky.
Ricky, yeah, or
Oh,
just Richie's dad.
oh, right. Rich's dad. Yeah, that's right, Ricky. And
Yeah,
you've got to post something on your Facebook wall tomorrow because Ringo Starr said we've got to say peace and love.
yeah. Peace and love. That is my present to you. Peace and love. Do you know, a couple of years, it might have been a year ago, I had to go over to Norway to play a Beatles show for this kids festival.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and they made us put the wigs on. They
Oh,
made me put these, I had to get these costume rings on my sausage fingers. And like, he was just educating the kids in between songs. But then there was a little bit where he would talk about Ringo and why he's called Ringo. And I had to try and grasp this Norwegian language, which it sounds like The Sims when they talk. And it's just like I hear him go Ringo and look back, and I've just got to sit there. I want 300 kids looking at me going, showing these rings on my fingers, like trying to play with the rings on. My fingers had all holes and dents in off these horrible rings, taking them off. So yeah, I've been Ringo a couple of times, but
did you put
not on his
nose?
level.
Did you put a Ringo a Ringo nose on? Because apparently all the Ringo or if you're in a Beatles tribute band and you're playing Ringo, you've got to have the nose.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I know none of that. We just wore wigs that make us look like Haley Cropper.
Because I think Ringo's profile. I had the drummer Gordon Elsmo, who's the drummer for the Bootleg Beatles, and
Yeah,
he plays Ringo. So he says that that's a very important part of being a Ringo is
a
to have,
fake nose.
and also Chris Sharrock as well from I
Yeah,
think the
unbelievable.
yeah.
He plays with everyone who's just flying at the minute.
Well, he likes being Ringo.
Yeah,
And I'm I'm really hoping that someday I will go and see him at the cavern.
Yeah,
Do the Beatles thing. And apparently he also put a fake
a
nose
fake nose.
Ringo's.
Yeah, I think I'll just stay with the wigs
You just yeah, you
and the
go.
Haley Cropper wigs.
Right. Well, next question. What about all those years that you're playing the drums? Have you ever had any accidents or drumming disasters?
Yeah,
Is
yeah, cymbals
it
coming off the
something?
stands. We done this huge gig with up in Dundee with the View. It's like 5,000 people. I thought it felt like 5,000 people, and the leg on the floor top just kept collapsing on me. Luckily, it was collapsing towards me, so my leg was keeping it there. But every time I'm hitting the kick drum, the drum's doing this. So like, just trying to get it and fix things, and then yeah, every drummer will tell you this. You're playing a show and your kick drum's getting further and further away. You know, there's no like mat or anything, or that's moving. Especially you can be festivals on a riser, and it could be a really crap rise, and like you're just playing and all your drums you're going, oh, they're not just coming in like that. So there's been a few things dropping. I don't drop sticks that often, I'll be honest. Just don't break sticks, but yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything can
You've never
happen. I've I've
you've
done it
never
with that. I've never.
you've never hurt yourself like maybe like blood because of maybe a stick hit your eye or something or
No,
no.
I haven't hurt myself. I've nearly fell over getting on my drum kit, like falling off the stool
Oh,
nearly.
right. Okay.
But I've never actually hurt myself. I've had one where the hammer on the kick pedal just flew off, so I had no kick drum, so I was kind of just booting the skin until I could sort it, kind of thing.
Oh gosh.
But no injuries up to now. Fingers crossed, touch wood.
Yeah, yeah. Do you always have spares? Because I went to a gig last night, and I mean every single band member had a bit of an accident, apart from one. So there was like the singer.
Nightmare that.
Well, the singer, the string broke on his
Yeah.
guitar, so he had to change it. The bass player, the strap broke, so he had to ask for someone if they have a spare strap for his bass guitar. And
See,
then the
that's
drummer,
easy. Just sit down.
well, there's the drummer, the kick thing. Also, I
Yeah.
think
The
it broke or
skin.
something. Well, not the skin,
So
but the
the
pedal
pedal.
or something. Yeah, it broke. So it's
I,
like,
I I haven't. I don't
the
carry a
spare.
spare pedal.
So you don't keep one. So what happens if
No,
it so like stop playing?
you just
It
gotta
stop.
hope it. You just gotta hope it doesn't. So you take spares in what you think might go. So obviously sticks, brushes, and stuff, and a spare. I'd say drum head for the snare. That's probably as far as it goes as someone who's
Yeah,
doing a few gigs. Suppose if you're on a big tour, you'd probably take spare everything,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not just for an odd little show. No, that's
Yeah,
just
because
disastrous.
the drummer always has to carry loads of things. Like and
The only thing I miss about playing the cajon is that's all I had to carry.
yeah, because I mean the guitarist or the singer. I mean most of the time it's just the guitar, isn't it?
If
Unless
the
they
singer had to bring his, if the singer had to bring his own microphone, he still wouldn't carry
have.
it.
Yes.
They thought singers, from my experience, they'll just, oh, I've just got to go and talk to these, or I'll just go and get the money off they're gone until that van door shuts. Oh, there he is. Look at that. Oh, what, you've had 4 pints, have you? Enjoy.
But I think most of the time it's the singer who entertains the fans. So they have to sort of like say hello to. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes
you think that.
I don't know about you, but I I do feel embarrassed sometimes because you see that the drummer always has a lot of work to do after the gig, after the set. So they have to
Yeah,
get all their, make sure that they've got everything, all the parts of the drum kit and everything like that. But
yeah,
then, you wanted to have a photo with the drummer as well. You wanted to get the signatures, and sometimes you feel like
See,
being a
I
him.
don't mind. I don't mind all that. Not at all. Well, to me,
Yeah.
no one should ever feel like it's getting in the way because I've mastered it now. I can get my drums packed down in under like 8 minutes, so it doesn't
Oh,
bother
it's
me.
see.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, the next time I go and see you, hopefully that at the Shakespeare North Theatre with Paul Crowe, I
Oh
could
yeah,
ask like a
we'll go to the
photograph.
bar and have a drink. We'll go to the bar and have a drink.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So I'll remember that because
Yeah,
yeah,
no problem.
it's this one thing. Also, like sometimes they've just done a gig and they want you to relax, but then as a fan you want you to have a
You,
photo.
it's
You want you to
for
get this thing.
me. You don't relax at a gig because you're psyched up. You've got loads of energy after the gig. Even if the sweat's pouring on you, you've put in the shift, and you're absolutely it's a lot of energy, but
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
still on a high from it. So at no point you come off stage, you go, "Oh, leave me alone." Yeah, that's great. Let's go and talk about what a great show we've just had.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I don't get them people like not wanting to bother. Just
Oh, that's good. Well, that's
people have
good.
made the effort to come watch you. Go and make the effort to thank them.
Oh, that's brilliant. And also, speaking of thank you, apparently this is from one of the articles about the hummingbirds that I've read. Um, it's very important to thank the sound person as well.
Massive.
It's
So
like,
I
yeah,
still do that. I'll always go and shake their hand and ask the name, give them mine, and because they probably do have to deal with a lot of difficult people. So if you just
yeah,
come across and go, listen, I'll make your job as easy as I can for you, and I appreciate what you're doing because we've played before we done that. We've played some stinkers of shows where we played shows where the sound engineer just went missing. So yeah, if you make them a friend and they'll look after you.
yeah. Because I've only just realized that they're actually very, very important to make the band sound good
Yeah,
live.
you could have the best tightest band, but if that sound engineer doesn't want you to sound good, he'll make you not sound good.
Yeah, that's
You put it if it's not your own engineer, you're putting a lot of trust into these guys. So make them feel welcome, and it's just nice to be nice.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Well, okay. Well, last question now for you is: do you have any advice for aspiring drummers or aspiring musicians in general?
Um, just if you've got the hunger for it and you don't know where to start, just play, expose yourself, put yourself online, go out to shows and meet people, and don't be scared to go up to the people who've been on stage and say how glad you are that you came to the show or how much you're into them and you enjoyed the show. Just get out there and enjoy it and embrace being a musician because I love it, and I know a lot of people that would have loved to have done what a lot of musicians have done with their life, even if they didn't make a career out of it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not making loads of money doing it, but I've been around the world with a load of my friends playing our music in all these different countries. Just embrace it.
yeah. Well, do you think is
And,
it
and and if it's quiet and you're not getting that many shows, don't let it get to you. Don't fall out of love. Just keep playing.
keep playing? Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think it's easy now with the internet and being able to
Yeah, I'd
share?
say so. Yeah, well, look, it's got to be easier. You heard the story of when Paul McCartney and George Harrison used to have to get a bus or two buses to the other end of the city just to learn a B7 chord. So it's definitely easier because you can just make a video and put it out there, and all your friends will share it. Your mum and dad will share it.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
parent, their friends will share it, and then look at this fella. He should get in contact with him. And look, you've been able to read up on me and the Hummingbirds. You probably know more about the Hummingbirds than I do, just from what you've seen online. So I think it's definitely easier to get out there,
yeah,
and it's perfectly normal to be shy meeting new people, but it's
yeah,
certainly the best thing meeting new people and just go out and talk to your network, and not like a
yeah.
professional manner where, what do you do? I just go and meet people and make them aware of what you can do.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
that's
might they
great
might
advice.
offer you something there and then, but in the long run, they'll probably come to you and go, "Do you fancy doing this?" And that's what you wanted to do 3 years back when you first told them.
Yeah, don't give up and just keep doing it. If
Just
that's what
don't,
you want to do, just
don't.
don't.
If you're not
Yeah,
making loads of money, it's fine. Just keep playing and keep doing what you got to do.
yeah, yeah. And you mentioned Paul McCartney there, and
Yeah,
'cause another thing that I've read from this article is you want to do a collaboration with Paul McCartney.
who wouldn't?
Because you know, like Kanye West, it says that if Kanye West can do it, I mean, you know, surely someone from Liverpool can do it as well.
Do you know what it was? He did do a song with Kanye West and I think Rihanna, and then so there was a comment saying Kanye West just opened so many doors for this Paul McCartney guy, and I'm just going, oh, what are you on about? Are you
I
serious?
remember that. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. No,
Paul
because
McCartney drove past me once and gave me a little wave, and it's probably the only time I felt starstruck when I was like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, yeah.
so I used to live in an area in Liverpool called Speak, and he was there in his younger years. And it was
Oh,
about 12:30 in the afternoon. I was the only one on the street. It was Critchley Road, and I seen this big Mercedes just coming towards me. And Speak's never been like a wonderful area, so you're thinking, oh God, why are these drivers so slow? Then I just seen this big wig, and I thought, what is this? And he got past me, and it was like I'm meeting after two meetings, just drove past me, and I was just like, and then when he got like 20 yards away, he just went, Paul, and his hand just came out the window, and I was like, oh. I was like Charlie Bucket with the golden ticket run home to tell me parents. Paul McCartney just drove past. Yeah,
so you
it's
do get
unbelievable.
starstruck as well. You get
Yeah, it
starstruck.
was.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've met quite a few famous people and had really good chats with them. Like Jerry Marsden was one of them. He
Oh,
come to a couple of our gigs and he's really nice fella. And we end the Hummingbirds ended up being in the official video for "You'll Never Walk Alone."
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think we were
yeah.
talking about that and stuff, and I weren't like starstruck, but I was like, I was happy I met him kind of thing. But the likes of Paul McCartney, I froze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
weird.
do you, when you see people that you know, musicians that you love and things, do you also ask for photos and
No, I
do
just start probably singing
start?
their own songs to them.
Oh, right.
So when I've been in rehearsals with like Paul or Chris, I'm going, shall we just jam a little airplane song out and stuff like that? And I'm telling them how the song goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Rich. I
No, thanks
really
for having me,
enjoyed
Anna.
chatting to you. And
Thanks for
yeah, I'm
having
going
me.
to be uploading this episode on YouTube
Excellent.
later
I'll
this
message
week.
you and let you know when all the shows are and stuff. And
That would be great. Yeah, thank
uh,
you. Thank
the,
you
the
so much.
one with Paul, come down early again and hang out. It's cool.
Thank you. Well, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm actually going to Liverpool today. From yeah, as soon as I'm
Are you
finished
going
with
to
this,
a show?
going to see Echoes of the Bunnyman at the Cavern Club.
Oh,
At the
nice.
Yeah, yeah, they're getting really popular at the moment because Will Sargent,
Yeah.
he's promoting them. You know, so like, if you get someone like Will
Is this
Sargent,
are these the only Echo and the Bunnymen tributes?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe that they are because it's so difficult to. It's not easy to copy Echo and the Bunnymen, but this band do echoes of the Bunnymen. They're
And
absolutely.
is it the back room in the cavern?
It's the yeah, that's
So
the
do you know
Cavern
do you know
Club.
where the sound desk is?
Yes.
Right facing the stage. If you see a Chinese guy called Ricky Chung on the sound,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he's probably one of the best in the city as well for live sound. He is
Oh
awesome.
right. Oh, I
So
see. Yeah, I
if
see
you
him.
enjoyed the gig, thank him as well.
Okay, I will. I mean, I do see him quite whenever I go to the cavern because it used to be Andy from
Yeah, yeah.
uh
Andy still does like Andy still does the jacaranda and stuff a lot, I think.
yeah. He's left. I think he's left the cavern club now, so he's not doing it
Yeah,
anymore. Yeah.
but
So
Ricky is just like he's got that room down to a T.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
Andy is another one that I really love from Shimona because Shimona is like a brilliant band. I don't know if you remember them, but they
No,
were.
not on them.
And do you know when you mentioned that one of the band members from the Hummingbirds now a firefighter?
Yeah,
Well, Peter, um, he's now also a firefighter. That's why they don't play.
in
They don't.
Liverpool.
Yeah, in Liverpool. Yeah, yeah. There's a
I'll have to
band
give him a
called
little
Shalom
message and
that
see if he
does.
knows them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you, Peter Riley. That's
Thank
his.
you,
That's
Anna.
his name.
Peter
Yeah.
Riley. I'll ask him.
His dad, Pete Riley, is also a brilliant musician as well. So, like I said,
Not
Liverpool
not
is
not
just
Pete Wiley.
not Pete Riley. Pete Riley is amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but Pete Riley is also amazing. So this one
yeah.
is Riley. Yeah. Um.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and
Oh, thanks
hopefully
for having me,
I'll
Anna.
see you in Liverpool someday, or at
You
the
will.
Shakespeare North one. So
You
okay.
will.
See ya. Take
Bye,
care. Bye.
darling.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. That's amazing. I really enjoyed that chat with Rich. And he's right, you just have to keep doing it. If you love being a musician, if you love being a drummer, just keep at it. It doesn't, maybe the money is not coming in as soon as, we start playing, but it will come. I'm sure it will come. So just keep doing it and be a drummer, because everybody love. I thought I love drummers, and I know that everybody loves drummers as well. So, so anyways, thank you so much, Rich Smith, for guesting on Ask the Drummer this week. I'll be back next week, and it's going to be a late one next week. It's going to be at 8 o'clock, I think, in the evening, or 7 or 8 o'clock. And we're going to go stateside next week as well. So we're going to have an American drummer joining us on the show. So please do keep an eye out for the guest announcement on the Ask the Drummer page. But for now, I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your Sunday, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I'm off to Liverpool to see Echoes of the Bunnyman. I think there are still tickets available. So any of you who are in Liverpool right now who want to go and see a band, go to the Cavern Club and see Echoes of the Bunnyman this evening. I think they're on at 8:30. And there's also another band called Gdansk 81. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're supporting, and I believe they're very good as well. So that's it for me. As always, love music, love life, love drummers, and see you all again. I don't know what I'm going to say. See you all again next week. Bye for now. Bye. Oh, and peace and love. Tomorrow is Ringo Starr's birthday. So, yeah, peace and love, everyone. Bye.